Someone fetch me my apron. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
He flexing. He all cat. It's propaganda. Those talking points. But in all actuality, it is what you said. He can likely get those things, but I find it hard to believe that if it was so easy to find what he was looking for, that he would be on Kendra G's show making all of that bread. Sometimes bread ain't enough, and
So so you believe so okay, you believe he's capped.
I'm telling you why.
No, 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 no. I just want to make sure because you said all cap. I just want. So, do you believe what he's saying is cap about what he wants from a woman, or in terms of what he does for a living?
No, I think that there are parts of that may or may not be lining up. But let's just say that I take him at his word that his profession is what it is. He's been there and he's been making the money and he got bread. He has an established nest, if you will, already. He don't need nobody to help him build a foundation. He already got it. You know what I mean? He did it with, the lady he was with before, and unfortunately she wasn't there to see the fruits of her labor. But at the end of the day, you know what I mean, there's probably a hundred reasons why he isn't with the woman that he's talking about. Because she exists. That part isn't delusional. Because what you're really essentially saying is you got an entrepreneur, you got a a business partner, and then you got a top level executive at a Fortune 500 company. What he's looking for is an executive. He
Mm-hmm.
don't need no independent woman who will be an entrepreneur, and he don't need no business partner because his business is already established. He needs a high level CEO, you know, that is okay working within the constructs that he provides. And I think that the presentation of that is what is cap. Um, it's offensive and it sounds offensive to the ear, kind of like the lady in that first clip was offended by the thought of saying that men are stronger. Like, damn, is that reality or ain't it? So even when he's saying smarter, he's a high level engineer, for CSX for multiple years. Like you say, a massive his industry. So the chances of him finding a woman who is making a substantial amount of money in Mississippi, as well as being more intelligent than him, what I mean, is gonna be hard because the pool of women that he's choosing from. So that part, I'm thinking his because I'm changing my mind as I'm speaking about it. But I think his
I
opinion is
can
based
tell.
on I think his opinion of women is based on the pool of women that he's choosing from. I think
Mm-hmm.
he's outgrown the pool of women that he's choosing from. He's probably in the same spaces that he was before.
Yes.
All right. So let's keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
Go
Are you
ahead.
saying that no woman is smarter than you?
No, I ain't saying that. I'm just saying in general, like, just in general, just the male and female, composition. It's not nothing. Nobody's smarter than nobody. I'm talking about as far
Look at her
as
face.
that's all I'm talking
We're gonna
about.
have to. I don't want to.
I,
I'm gonna be honest. Like I can understand what the needing part, but you know, You said also about money. There's a lot of women who are doing good financially. I don't know what you're doing financially, but you definitely can't assume that there isn't a woman making the same amount of money as you.
No, I mean what I've been running to since I've been single. It's like I be like, damn, this the dating pool. They must get peed into something because it's been crazy. Like I can't find.
Said they must have peed in the dating pool.
Meet somebody, either they ain't got no time, or they got too many kids, or they don't know how to communicate. I don't like texting, so when you sit up here try to hold a texting conversation with me, that's automatically just get you deleted and blocked. So since I've been down here, it's been, I don't know. It's been
okay. So let's go. So what are your deal breakers? So you don't want a woman that's too.
Just somebody just be a woman. Like I said, I mean, I don't like I hate wigs, makeup, lashes. That's too much. I like natural stuff. I mean, be a woman. You know what I'm saying? I dealt with a woman with a child, but the baby the little girl was young. She was number like maybe a year old. If I can be able to actually help her raise, you know what I'm saying? That's cool. But if I have my preference, no kids.
No kids.
So far, any issues? Any issues with what he was saying? His level of articulation?
That nigga ain't going to no governor's ball no time soon.
Say it again.
He already said he don't want. He referred no kids. She can't have no lashes, no weave, no makeup. He want plain Jane. Okay, well I believe you didn't find one in Mississippi, Atlanta. Where you from? What you didn't find one of them women?
So you got to remember, you may not know about Mississippi.
Oh, okay.
Mississippi, it's not Atlanta. Atlanta is the big city compared to that.
Oh, okay.
That's the deep South.
Oh, okay.
You get what I'm saying? He even talked about it.
Yeah.
So my question is this: why does it bother you? Because he doesn't. What is it that's bothering you? Let me just not assume.
Why you think something bothered me? Why you think something bothered me?
Because you just gave off the vibes that what he said bothered you. I want you to talk about it.
Are you assuming something bothered me? What he said?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that because you just said, I'm just saying, can't find them. None of them. Where you at? Atlanta, Mississippi. I'm just saying. What you saying?
No, say what you said. Say what you said.
Yo, say what you said, yo.
He said he don't want nobody, no wig, no lashes, no makeup. You want plain Jane. You didn't find that in Mississippi?
Why she gotta be plain Jane?
Okay, you said you don't want anybody no makeup, no wigs, no lashes.
That don't mean plain Jane.
Okay.
There's girls that are beautiful that don't wear makeup, that don't wear lashes, that don't wear.
Sitting on your lashes.
What you say? Okay, I heard what he said. I'm like, okay, well, why he can't find him? Why he can't find plain Jane? Then he can find one. What's your problem? What's your problem? Obviously, he got.
He's saying he can't down there. That's what he's saying. Where he's at. That's what he's saying. He said he came from Chicago.
Yeah,
he's different, but he's down there. That's way different than Chicago, and so he's stating that he can't find that down there.
Well, it depends on who his friends are, what circle he's in, because obviously,
Look, he said Chef being delusional.
Thank you.
Then they said, give me the plain Jane, keep your bust down. All right, they retain value. So let me know when you're ready, Andre. I'm gonna keep that clip going.
Go ahead,
Andre. Look at Kendra. Look at Kendra G.
Yeah, what about Kendra?
Would you just look at the picture right there? Would you consider her plain Jane?
She got a little makeup on.
Don't look like it.
She got makeup on.
Yeah. Do you watch Kendra G?
So I watched a couple of her episodes.
Yo, she got hella makeup on.
Come on, man. God damn, what side you on, chef? God damn, I'm trying to make a point, and this nigga goddamn cut my goddamn tie my shoes together. What the fuck?
Oh, you busy unwrapping, holding my rabbit hole, throwing dirt in my goddamn.
Whatever. I guess you know you hold it out. You hold it out.
So go ahead, go ahead. Ask Andrea, drive. Go ahead.
Yeah, she got makeup on. She got makeup on. She's beautiful. I believe she probably got lashes on too.
They got no damn glasses on.
We say she got lashes on too.
She got lashes on.
Yes.
Oh
For
my
the
bad.
record, fellas don't want that shit.
Okay.
Y'all do what y'all want, cause that's what you're gonna do anyway.
He could then. I'm just saying we could finish watching it. He said he worked for the railroad, so you work for the railroad. You ain't stopping. Atlanta, Houston, none. You ain't stopping about them states to find what you're looking for.
Nah, he see, and that's the thing about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you're in this dating pool, right?
Yeah.
Think about it, right? You go to the grocery store, you go to the gas station, you go to the wherever that you find a woman at, the gym, and you running into all kinds, but you find someone attractive, but okay, she's crazy. Okay, she got 3 kids. Okay, she's got situations. So if you a highly qualified man,
Uh-huh.
you only got so much life to live. And by the time you meet someone and you
Mm-hmm.
text them to death, like he's talking about, and finally get down to the meat of the situation and say, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
Nah, not you. Too many red flags. Too many no lists.
Well, he just
Now
said
you
that.
got now you got to start over.
Okay, well
So,
he's
so I
40.
think that's how he gets. That's how you get here. So whether you're a well qualified man or not,
Mm-hmm.
you need some kind of filter to save you some time to say, hey, here are the baseline things that I must have before we even move forward. So that's how you get to online dating. And I
Okay,
think
well
that's more
he's 40. He's 40. He
necessary.
wants children. He does
Right.
want children. And okay, so
You
women
said
are
he doesn't want children?
he does want children. He does want children. And women in their 40s probably already got their kids and probably ain't having no more kids. So he gonna have to move his dating pool to the younger women. And
Mhm.
well he can they probably he can find somebody like 21 to 35 and
Okay, so let's do this because I see you going into area. Remember, they didn't see this already.
oh
Remember,
okay
right? All right.
okay
So,
Oh, she's seen that. I ain't seen that shit either.
all right, let's go.
Thursday. So let's just shout that out for a second. Okay, so ultimately you would like a woman with no kids. You mentioned that a couple times.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, child. All right. Listen, I was with you on a couple things. Now I'm totally against a lot of some other things that you said too. But I'm going to respect your preference. I had to challenge you on the smarter and the more money thing because
No, I'm just saying what I came across. I met some nurses, doctors, lawyers. I mean, not saying that they probably do make more money than me, but like I said, their money is irrelevant. I mean, I don't care what you do. Like, 'cause at the end of the day, I can't spend it. You know what I'm saying? I can't go to a call out and say, here's, you know what I'm saying? I can't, no.
So do you want to be, are you going to be the provider in your relationship?
Of course, when I was married, I mean, when I was married, when my wife, she was working, she took that money and put it towards herself. You know, she went shopping. She made sure that I like a woman. Like I said, I like a woman to be a woman. You know, I like the dresses and the heels, and and if we need something for the house, you know what I'm saying, miscellaneous stuff, yeah, go and buy that. But everything else, groceries, that's about it. Everything else, I mean, it's my house. I pay for it. I'm going to pay for everything. Like there's without a doubt. Why wouldn't
So
I?
she's not paying for the mortgage or any of that.
I mean, I never had a mortgage. I always paid cash for everything I had. So
okay, so she's not paying for the bills basically in the house.
no, I'm gonna do that.
You're gonna okay.
That's my responsibility. I mean, I'm a man. I can't. I don't even know what it would feel like to even have a woman sit up here and try to give me some money for something that I know that we both live in. That's not being manly to me. And I ain't done nothing wrong being 50-50 of that, but me personally, I couldn't do it.
Okay. I know you lost your wife to a tragic accident. How long was you married for?
5 years.
Okay. So Marcus, does the woman have to look a certain way?
Michael.
I mean, I keep saying Marcus. I apologize. Michael. That's my fault. Michael.
Be fit. I like somebody that's fit. I don't like plus size. Man, you got to wear it well, but just plus size pretty much.
Okay. You saying no plus size?
No.
No BBWs.
Your boy been binge watching KS. That's what's going on. That's what's going on.
So let's talk about it.
I mean,
yeah, Kendra does that sometimes because she's focused. She's trying to be laser focused, and she ends up not even. She has to re-ask certain questions that were provided with answers are given already. But let's talk.
But he don't want no he want a skinny woman. He don't want no BWs. Okay. You know the average woman in America is a size 12. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Mm.
Uh-oh.
But okay.
Uh-oh. So,
Mm.
okay, I got a question.
Yes.
In terms of what he asked for.
If he wants all that, he should. If that's his heart desire, he should get it.
That's not what I'm asking you. So,
okay.
Nice one. Right? Is it possible that he can get that kind of woman that he's asking for? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, we're going piece by piece with this.
Mm-hmm.
So far, all of the qualities that he asked for, he can actually get.
Yes.
Okay.
mm,
I'm asking I'm gonna ask you after. I'm asking Andreas all of those qualities that he's asking for.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say how long or hard it would take to get them, but he can get them. So remember, we have to find where the delusion is, right? And so far, each of these things that he stated that he wants, you've already conceded that he actually can get them.
Yes.
So, right. Okay. So that means that nothing he said so far is delusional because it's actually possible. Remember? Yes. Right. Okay. So we're probably going to step into the delusion territory soon. Vic, talk to me. So do you believe that the qualities that he's stating that he wants, do you believe it's possible? I didn't say probable. Do you believe it's possible for him to get that type of woman?
that's the point. You literally took the words out of my mouth, and that's why I asked you to define delusion. Because if you're saying possible, technically speaking, anything's possible. God who strengthens me. But at the end of the day, when we talk about what's probable, the further you get away from probability, the more delusional you become. That's why I said there's degrees of delusion. It doesn't necessarily have to be black and white to say that it's not possible. So you believe in it because it's not possible, then you're delusional. That's an extreme version of delusion. If you believe in something that is very unlikely or not very probable, then I consider that delusion as well. Because the likelihood is what's keeping you in that stuck in that circle when you could have already picked something that was way more probable. And that's why I said she's got to ask him some more pointed questions. Like, does it have to be a black woman? Does it have to be someone in your age range? So on and so forth. There's more questions.
Let's keep going.
Let's keep it going then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you said you don't care about her money, right?
No, just as long as you have a car, man. As long as you have a car, I don't care if you work at Chick-fil-A. Just as long as you got a car, you take care of yourself. Like, that's about it. I don't care about the money part.
Do you want kids?
Of course I do.
Okay, he does want kids.
Yeah.
Are you willing? Is no kids a strong deal breaker for you?
Say it again.
A woman with kids, is that a strong deal breaker for you?
Like I said, the child has to be small. I mean, like, if we're gonna do it for the long haul, the child got to be like 2 years old. I want to be able to help raise them too. I don't want to come into something that is already built. You feel what I'm saying?
Okay.
I want to be able to actually build. You know what I'm saying? That's me.
Okay, shouts to Regina, who I cook.
All right. I thought that was rather admirable. There was something that he said.
You're gonna
And
help raise the child. Is that what Admiral? What you think was Admiral?
no,
Okay.
it's deeper than that.
Okay.
He wants to have an impact on the child. That's a difference. He wants to have an impact on the child. Okay? He don't want to have to come into the games and you ain't my daddy, nigga. You just banging my mom. That's a difference. If the child sees him from childhood, 1 year old, 2 year old, okay, guess what?
Mhm.
That child knows him. That child knows him, and he'll actually have an impact on that child and grow with that child almost like it's his. I think that's an admirable concession to make. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No.
He wants to be, if she has children, he's recognizing his strengths and his weakness and maybe some of the bullshit that he's not willing to deal with. He's not doing a great job of articulating himself. You get what I'm saying? However, I'm feeling the essence of what he's saying. He said, I prefer that the child be 1, 2 years old so I can play a part in raising. That's an impact statement. To me, that's impactful. And that's admirable. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that's my feelings. What y'all think about that?
I think that's right. He wants to be an impact on the child as a small child. Of course, it would be easier than
All right.
coming into a child's life who's like 11, 12, 13. It's a little hard.
I agree. What's your stance, Vic?
I don't got nothing to add to that.
All right, all right. Let's keep it going.
Who we host a show together, Hook Society. She said, "Do you have a car?" Since you're requiring the woman to have a car.
Oh yeah, I got 2.
You got 2 cars, Regina. Okay.
And they all foreigns.
And they're all foreigns. Okay, talk your talk, Michael. Does the woman have to be in Mississippi?
No, New Orleans, Mobile, Atlanta. I mean, I travel all. I'm on the coast, so you know, everything. I'm by everything. I'm close to Houston. I'm close to Atlanta, Memphis, Alabama, Florida. I mean, I'm actually about to leave out tonight and catch a flight. I'm thinking about going to well, I'm not thinking about, but I'm going to Puerto Rico for my birthday. So
That's right, because your birthday is April 1st. Michael, I'm not sure if I asked you this question. When was your last relationship?
that's my wife. I've been trying. It ain't been looking right. It ain't been looking good for me.
Okay, you don't gotta answer this question, but when was the last time you was intimate with a woman?
What this month? 3 weeks ago.
You fucking though.
What did you do with that woman?
She had too many kids. She's pretty, but I just can't do too many kids.
How many kids does she have?
That ain't stopped you from feeding them cheeks.
So that was a deal breaker for you.
Yeah, then they was by different dads. Like, then you weren't even married. I'm like, that count. People don't think that count, but that counts.
Okay. So she had too many kids, too many baby daddies, and she was never a wife.
Right. She had no time. Always, oh, I'm too busy. Oh, I gotta wait till my kids go to sleep. I don't want to come to your house. That's my thing. I don't want to be around your kids. If we're not together, I don't want to be around your kids. That's the thing. I can't do that.
Okay. I think that's fair. If you're like not in a serious relationship, you don't want to be around the children. I can understand that. Michael, you want to be in a relationship, you want to get married again. What is the challenging, like what are the things that you're meeting that are just turning you off, that you decided that you can't marry yet?
Oh, the thing with far as women?
Yes.
Not communicate. I don't like texting. I mean, I'm an 80s baby. I grew up with the phone cord all around the house, so I don't want to text. You know what I'm saying? Liars. I done had somebody lie to me for so long. I mean, I don't know why. And it'd be over dumb stuff like a couple dollars money. That little couple of dollars ain't gonna make or break me. Or it'd be over something petty. Like, I asked somebody on a date. We supposed to hang out. Time comes, I don't hear from you. I'm like, damn, why would you make plans with me? Don't want to keep your words. So I don't know.
Okay. Michael, why would a woman be lucky to be with you?
I'm a man. I mean, I'm the whole definition of one. I mean, I was raised right. My granddaddy raised me. Actually, my parents, everybody raised me. But I didn't let the streets get to me. I mean, I could have, the south side of Chicago, rough, But yeah, I mean, I just feel like that. I feel like I deserve to be happy, So I just hope.
Deserve to be happy. Just curious, what is your definition of a man?
Somebody that's a provider, somebody's a leader, somebody's an inspirer, somebody that's a protector, somebody that gives knowledge. It gives and receives knowledge, actually. A mentor, a father. I mean, I can go on and on, but that was the thing where I would like, father thing. That's the only thing I haven't done in life is be a father. So everything.
And you want to be a dad, that's important to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. All right, let's do it, Michael. Happy birthday, first of all. I don't necessarily agree with a lot of things that you said, but I think you have the right to desire what you want. I have a heart for you since you lost your wife. That broke my heart to hear. So I do hope that love can come your way again.
Bring it. Hello?
Yes.
I thought you asked me to pause it, Vic.
I asked if she could stop saying that shit.
What?
That he lost his wife. Them be sensitive stuff, you know what I'm saying? Take time to get over that shit. And you can take one and motherfuckers say, yeah, okay, I appreciate it. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? But damn, man, keep hitting that motherfucker like it's something that need to keep being said.
You know what's funny? Here's the weirdest part about it. Because when I watched it, I peeped that too. But here's the kicker. It seemed like she was being insensitive.
Mm-hmm.
But she was actually too sensitive to the optics.
Right.
Because remember, she's not just talking to him and talking for herself. She's speaking for her almost 60,000 subscribers and a few thousand people that's in the chat watching live. So that's almost her disclaimer to them. Hey, look, before y'all bitches start calling me insensitive now, okay? You feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like she was speaking to I believe she was speaking to them through that statement. But I definitely believe in terms of the wounds. I do pay attention to, body language and facial pantomimes and everything. And I do believe that he was hurt behind it. You understand?
Yeah.
Even when he was like, shit happens now, nigga. I could see his face. You seen the blink. You seen the way he looked up, and it's almost like, man, I ain't trying to get choked up.
But maybe then he's not ready for a relationship then.
But no. Come on, man.
I'm just
Listen.
asking.
Now because you not feeling, dude. Now you
That's
don't be
not
that
how.
person.
I
We
just
think
I
you
just
better.
asked the
Yo,
question.
we look at you better than that, yo. Come on, man. Look. The fact that he might get a little emotional when he's talking about how his wife died, that he's not ready for a relationship.
Yes, I'm just saying maybe he haven't got over
So I'm
the.
asking you, the
Mhm.
fact that he's holding back emotions, which he did well, that he's holding back emotion because he's talking about how his wife was killed.
Yes.
And you're stating that because of that, he's not ready for a relationship.
No, I'm
So
not
you telling me that? So no, I'm stacking that shit, yo. So you mean to tell me
saying.
yo,
Yes.
how long you been divorced, yo?
15 years now.
All right, 15 years now.
Yes.
Do you get emotional about shit that happened in your marriage?
Yes, I
Still,
do. Yes.
okay. Do you feel that you're ready for a relationship?
Yes.
So then, okay, then. So then, why wouldn't he? His wife suffered a horrible death. And not
Mhm.
only did she suffer a horrible death, 2 other people died as well in there. And that was his wife. And he was in his 20s. He was the kind of man that would get married in his 20s. Not the Poopy and Ray Ray ones that we keep hearing and talking about. Not those. Right? Not those. Not those. He got married young in his 20s. Had, started a nice career. Unfortunately, he lost his partner. Yo, I'm timing To Be Love out. I'm timing her out because she on that bullshit. I'm timing her out. But anyway, right. So he lost his partner. And just because he might be a little emotional about it, 10 years later, they was married 5 years. I don't think there's an. And you said maybe he's not ready for a relationship. Maybe he is. Why wouldn't he be? You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't he be? That's a real question.
I'm just saying he might not be ready for a relationship. I mean, he could be. I'm not sure. I don't know everything she's gonna ask him. So we gotta finish watching so I can get better information. How about that?
I'm just asking questions. All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Give them your Instagram name.
I just made this page. I think it's Mike, MIKE .versus.Michael.
Okay. So it's Mike verse.Michael. So MIKE.BS.Michael. What is your Facebook page too?
Michael Leonard.
Spell your last name.
LENARD.
LENARD. Michael Leonard.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it real quick. Is there more than one Michael Leonard on Facebook?
Yeah, I heard it's a bunch of us on there.
What's your page?
It's gonna say I'm from Chicago, so
it's gonna say you're from Chicago.
Yeah.
Let's see.
LENARD.
Okay, LAND.
No.
LENARD. Your page, so I can try to tag that because you're definitely gonna be a highlight since it's your birthday. So I want to make I tag your Facebook. So if you can't DM me here, your Facebook page.
Okay, that's cool.
All right, again, this is my. Oh, what's the age range? We didn't go over that. What's the age range you want to take?
Ooh, I like young women.
That's a little strong.
20 to 30.
20, Michael.
I look young, so I want somebody. I don't want nobody over 30. Most of them, they too scarred. I didn't try that too many times. I done tried 30, 35.
He tried to help you,
45.
Michael.
They too scarred emotionally. I ain't got time for that. I got things to do.
Hydraulic
I
scar.
can retire in a couple of years. I don't need nobody that's all beat up with cigarette burns and gunshot wounds. I know, no.
Damn,
Michael.
boy, you gotta stay out
But
there.
he probably at in the hood. Okay,
Let me tell
he
let
find
me
the
tell you
women
something.
at?
95% of them that
He
I
said
ran
cigarette
across,
burns and
sweetheart,
a shut up.
God,
So he
I
probably in
never
the
came
hood. I'm
across
just asking
nobody
the
that was
question now.
over 35 that was actually mentally sane. Like
He
they said,
told
oh,
your
you
ass
talking
he's in
about
the down low part of
my,
Mississippi.
my past did that. I'm like,
Everybody
man,
shot
look,
and
I
cigarette
ain't got
burns.
nothing to do with your past. I'm not even what you used to. I don't even know why you even I even bringing somebody in that whole conversation, but always something. And the crazy part about it, I thought me moving to the south would be it'd be a big plethora of women.
Not down there, buddy.
Most of them got kids.
Nah, it's women.
Okay, so you.
Just not the ones he looking for.
Yes.
Listen, if you got a 100K a year job, you know what I mean. Yeah, you searching for a woman in all the same old places, like when you was making 30K a year, then that's your problem right there.
And
You look,
he wants to have kids, so he wants somebody young that he can
He
pretty much.
wants a fertile womb.
He wants somebody that he can mold and shape into the person that he wants them to be. He said 21 to 35. Okay.
Okay, so when many women give their hand in marriage
Mhm.
to that man, just like when I used the metaphor of the NBA player choosing the team based on the coach, you're choosing that leadership. Just like when you go to the gym, you're choosing the particular personal trainer. And you know that in order for you to succeed, you're going to have to do exactly what the hell they tell you to do. And that's the key. People understand, people think following and leadership is, somebody talking about, following and leadership is a negative thing. It's
No, but
not. If you know somebody's a great leader, you want to serve under that particular general because you trust that the place he's going to take you, even though you don't understand the playbook, even though you just follow the orders and the directives, you recognize that you're choosing that leader. And he wants, so I don't think it's predatory. I think that he's speaking from the perspective of a dude that's met certain types of women and he knows what he doesn't want. He was married in his 20s. Okay, so watch this.
okay.
He's 39. Right.
Yes.
So when his wife passed away, which was 10 years ago, right,
years.
he was 29. Right, they were married for 5 years, which means he was 24.
That's not right. That's not the right math, chef. He said 2
Why
years.
is it not? Tell me what's the wrong part?
Well,
Wife
how old
passed
was his
away.
wife? How old was the wife?
He said
His wife died 5 years ago.
no, they were married for 5 years. She died a couple of years ago, is what he said, because he couldn't get the year, which made me think that it was capped. Because if someone like that important to you die, you don't forget the date.
I believe she was young. I believe she was she was younger than him.
Okay. So we got Miss Polly. She wanted to pop through and drop something in on the topic. What up, Miss Polly?
Hi, how are you guys today?
Hi, how you doing?
Chilling. What's good?
I'm good. I'm good. I've been driving around listening to you guys for a couple hours, so a lot of different topic stuff has been going on, but I couldn't really say too much because I was driving. But yeah, uh, I have, like you said, you meet a lot of people who, who are a little bit, especially gentlemen who are a little bit older, and then they want to kind of date someone in a younger time frame. And I kind of get where he's coming from because they feel like they've been in less relationships, so that they have less to deal with because they don't have any like he like I want to say damage, but not
Baggage.
necessarily. Yeah, like but not necessarily children because there are a lot of girls who have a lot of children and they're young. So
Yeah.
I think it is he like you said, some men really struggle with if they want children, they don't want a woman who has children already because they feel like they don't they want to start their own and start their own process with their children, have their own rules, and they don't want to have to kind of compete with what something else has already been established, parenting wise, and they don't have to deal with, baby daddies and things like that. But I do think he's making his pool, which is already smaller by being too strict.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's lots of women out here who may have children, who can manage their children very well, and have a great relationship with him, but he just hasn't found them, and he's excluding them before he gives them an opportunity. Um, and that's where your vetting, I think, really takes place when you're dating. And I'm saying that just from experience because obviously I date more, and I date in a particular way where I can date more than one person. So going through the people who I can see are gonna be more serious and what I'm looking for, I mean I can see that because I have myself will be like, if there's gentlemen who are too young, I won't go past like 20, 28's the youngest now. No younger than 28. That's just because we're in a different place in our lives, point
Mhm.
blank. And my children are a little bit older. Like I don't want to really, it's a little bit different. And then on top of that, for children, if you're say you're like 25, you may not have any children, or you may have one child. It's different. If you want to have more children and someone maybe in their 30s who don't want any more children. So I kind of exclude particular things. But if I find someone and we have a lot in common and they have no children, I might still go on a date with them because there's so much in common that may not be an issue. So you still have to let wiggle room. He's being too tight. So now he's definitely going to have a hard time finding someone. I don't know what,
Okay.
yeah, it's going to be really tight for him. I don't know how he's going to have to finesse that. I don't see when you're so strict. Sometimes I just like, it's like sometimes when you're looking for something, you're so specific, you miss out on blessings because you don't know what's there. You
Here's
don't
the
know what it's
thing.
going to look like. You know?
Here's the thing, though. He got laid 3 weeks ago. So, do is it that he's just making this list and totally excluding women? I don't think so. I think he's still getting his taste of those women, and he's telling us in terms of his travels after he's tasted the fruit of the berries of different bushes, right? He's just letting us know, yeah, I ain't fucking with these berries. I ain't fucking with those berries.
Well, he
These are
already said he
cool.
had too many kids.
That
He
shit
said he had
fast
too
too.
many kids.
It'll fill you up for the day, but you don't want to make a habit out of that shit.
Right, but
Yes.
nobody said that. What I'm saying is that he dealt with a girl that had 3 kids. What if
Uh-huh.
that's the reason that he feels that he don't want to do the shit again? That's what I'm saying. If I don't taste that nasty sour berry, then I won't know not to go back to that bush. That's the point that I'm making. Maybe he's giving you his own anecdotal evidence in terms of what he's seen in Podunk, Mississippi. You ever been to Picayune, Mississippi?
This nigga said
There's
picky.
places,
No.
there's places in Mississippi where there's just one street sign. There's towns where there ain't no, I mean, one street light. There's towns where there ain't no street light. So we're not talking about Atlanta. Atlanta is like freaking New York City compared to some of the spots in Mississippi. The biggest thing that Mississippi had was Biloxi, and that was because they had the naval base there.
Don't give him that excuse. He move around. He said he fuck with Florida,
Mhm.
Atlanta.
No, what he was saying is that because if you understand where Mississippi is on the map, he can drive several hours to get to each of those places.
Right.
Right. I mean, it's just by looking at the map. The thing is, though, he's talking about I believe that when he talks about the women that he doesn't want, he told you he didn't want women with kids, with multiple kids that were above a certain age. He gave you the reason. He told you what he would prefer, and he gave you his own experience on why he felt that way. And he literally broke down the relationship. So that's what I'm saying. What are we saying? What if
His
somebody's telling you they telling you what they feel, and they telling you what made them feel that way? I'm trying to figure out where the issue is.
good trees bear good fruit. You know, if what you're doing is working, then you should have evidence of it. And talk is fucking cheap. And if you got all this money and you got all this ability to move and go wherever the fuck you want to go, you got all this time in service, you got all your shit together, your house is paid for. Money is a non-issue. You don't want that.
Mhm.
There's a lot of fucking available women that would love a deal like that. So what I'm saying is that you with all of the more shit you add to the criteria, the less likely you're gonna find her at the fucking grocery store or randomly. You're
I think he
definitely
can.
not gonna
I
find her
think he
in the
can
club.
find her. I think
So
he can.
what I'm
Uh,
saying is that if you're gonna have a streamlined standard that way, then you need to have a filtering service. So whether it's a dating, what's the shit with the people who do the hookups? You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
It's a lady
You want E Harmony, Black Planet?
Matchmakers.
matchmaker.
Okay.
So I'm saying whether you pay a matchmaker or
Mhm.
you paid an online dating service, like a paid online dating service, or whatever your method was to allow yourself to filter through these women because your criteria is too extreme that you think you're gonna get the majority of that shit in one package in a young version with no kids, like nobody else don't want it. That's the equivalent to saying you want a high value fucking man and you want him to have all of this shit and you think that he ain't gonna want no other women but you. Like the fuck, they got options. So if you want this little young, tight, beautiful thing that just want to listen and do what you wanted to do, and she got all her shit, her mind, her faculties together. She ain't got no children. She's ready and available and professional that you can take it to the fucking governor's ball if you ever go. Then guess what, bro? There's some other highly qualified niggas making way more than you that wanted to snatch her up and probably already did. So if you wanted to find someone, some of these leftover women that would qualify, then you're gonna have to go through some other extemporary means to acquire what you're looking for, and it ain't gonna be in no fucking Picayune or no other place in Mississippi. You're gonna have to go. It wouldn't even matter what state. I could give a damn if you was in New York City or LA. You're not gonna bump into that girl in the street. You're not that lucky, bro. You have to
Well, I'm
find a way to filter through.
I think he could find. I think he could find the woman
I
he
yeah.
don't
looking.
know. I don't know about that. In
I,
terms
I
of the women, no, now if you listen closely what you said, you stated that the requirements that he made, those are not hard requirements though.
No, they're not.
So
But
when you
he,
said that, the fact, and when you said even in the New York or LA, I don't know about that. The thing is, he
you
didn't
know
give
what?
anything.
Oh,
He didn't give requirements that were crazy. He lumped a lot of
no.
requirements together, but stating that he couldn't find those in two of the biggest metropolises in the country, I
Well,
disagree with that.
well, go hang
It's
out at
more
some college.
likely.
Go hang out at some college campuses and look for some upper class women. You know what I'm saying? And see if they qualify for what you're looking for. If you want somebody who's polished and ain't gonna embarrass you and ain't ratchet, because you can get that little young pretty thing, but she got her issues too. She been
So you
pretty her
think?
whole life.
So you believe the majority of the women out there are wretched?
I didn't
no.
say anything close to that.
Because I know a lot of women,
I
even
didn't
women
say
that were,
anything close to that.
I know a lot of women that were raised even in almost impoverished settings that have femininity, they have poise, and they know how to Be quiet when it's necessary and not be ratchet.
You talking about outliers?
Oh, so you're saying that the majority of the women in the hood is ratchet? If you calling
The majority of the women in the hood don't fit the description that you just described.
feminine, poised,
Yeah, those things. That's not the standard for the hood.
I think he can find
oh,
that woman that he's looking for.
Don't
I
push back on that shit.
No,
mm,
I do think he can find a woman, but I believe he's going to find her in college or something like that. He wants her to be between 21 and 35. So she and he want her to have he want to have some kids with her. So some people got kids, and so he want to if she want to be the child be small. So his pool is going to be tight, but he can find her. He can find her. You
Yeah,
know,
I think I do think he can find someone.
yeah.
I don't think his requirements are actually crazy. I just think that he doesn't maybe I think his real problem is that he doesn't realize what he's describing that he doesn't want. He might be himself, if that
And
makes sense. Like you gotta, yeah,
he wants the woman to be pretty much dedicated to him. So he
right.
don't want a career woman. I mean, he
Hold on,
just said
hold on, Andrea. Hold on,
that.
Andrea. Miss
Mhm.
Polly, can you explain what you mean?
What I mean by he might not realize him, but I've gone on a date with someone like that. It was very strange. What I mean is kind of like you're saying, okay, I want this younger person. I want them not to have children. I don't want them to have a lot of baggage. I don't want them to have all these things because when you get older, as he claimed, this is one of the things, is that when you get older, you have more relationships and you have those baggages and those damage. But does he not realize that since he's of that age, he also has damage because he's had multiple relationships and you don't realize you carry those, even though you may be in denial that you have issues. You may be carrying those things. And I've dated someone I've gone on a date with someone several times. I was younger than him. He seemed okay, but like he kept doing weird things. Like he wanted me like to grab his muscles and things like that, and he would like growl. It was really awkward. And I was like, "Sir," he was like, "There's no good women out here, and don't you just want a woman? I just want a woman who's gonna be, very nice, feminine, and all this." And he's like, "I have money. I have all the money I need." And I was like, "Okay." And he did. He worked really hard and all that, but it just was his personality. He didn't realize that he literally just talked about himself all day. It was always about him. He didn't really care about me per se. He just wanted kind of a trophy, but he didn't realize that's what he wanted. And I am
That's what
not that. So these are
he
the things that you get what I'm saying. He didn't realize he had damaged himself, but he was looking for someone and complains about it all the time. There's no women out here for him. But in fact, it's him with the issue that's causing women to run away.
But the
Yeah.
idea is this. The idea is this. He can find this woman, and he can find one that could give a shit about her own personal um recogni- recognition, as far as him valuing her or her opinion or her intelligence or anything like that, and just is quite willing to downplay herself just for the benefit of a comfortable life,
Hmm.
and that will give him children and listen to what he say and whatever the fuck else, and her family be happy that she found him. But
Yeah,
what-
he might
but
find
he's
that.
not
Yes.
gonna bump into that woman at random unless it was just destiny, because that woman is a highly sought after woman, and she's got options for sure. So at the end of the day, what I'm saying, he would have a better chance, like I say, going on a college campus or somewhere where where
Hmm.
where professionals go. But the women he's describing are most likely not professional women, and that's not
Or I
the
actually don't
places
think
that
he
he's
would do
looking
good with an intelligent woman. I'll be honest.
Me either. I think he wants a woman to be all about him. That's why he.
Right.
You saying a woman can't be intelligent and be all about her man at the same time?
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm just
No.
the way what he describing. He wants her. He just say he gonna retire at 40. He wants the woman to be all about him. Okay, it's all about him. It's,
He.
it, and then he don't
Yeah.
want. He said 21 to 35. I'm looking at the pool that he wants. He wants 21
Hmm.
to 35.
He
Yeah.
he he doesn't want a companion to grow with him. He wants them to focus on him, and he wants
Yes.
to relax with them. And that's okay. I'm not saying he won't. It doesn't exist, but what he's looking for is not someone to really grow with. It's to bear some children for him, so he can leave a legacy and really pay attention to him and cater to him. That's what he's looking for.
And he wants a woman that age like most people don't know at 20 at 22 they trying to figure out who they are. So
Hmm.
he wants somebody that he can mold and shape it to the
Mold,
person
yes, yes.
mold
He
them.
doesn't want her to
Is
know.
that wrong?
No, I didn't say it was
If
wrong,
that
but that's what he's looking for.
That's what he's
right?
looking
No,
for.
I'm just no. I get that. I'm not saying that you're stating that. What I'm just asking, I'm asking the question is that does
Hmm.
he seems that he thirsts for leadership. He spoke to him being a leader of people at his job, and he was proud of that. He spoke to being in a relationship with a woman that if she has a child, he would he would prefer the child was younger because the child would be more positively impacted by his leadership.
Hmm.
Okay.
There's a lot of dudes out there. They call them Pookies and Ray Rays. You know, one thing that I don't get from him at all
Hmm.
is Pookie or Ray Ray. All right. And there's hold on, and there's something very important about this. It's very important. He speaks to aspects of leadership.
Hmm.
He's not worried if she's making all of this money. He's not worried about that. He wants to make sure that he's in position to do all of that. He's a leader. He's somebody that's taking on responsibility.
And he
And
wants a follower.
He
and
might be a control freak.
Yeah,
but
that's
you
what I
know what's
thought
funny?
he
Nah, it's funny. I didn't think you was gonna say that, Vic, and I'm gonna say why. Because the next point that I was gonna make was what's interesting is there's women that speak on the Ray Rays and the Pookies and the having to go 50-50. But then when you get the guys that is ready to, you know what I mean, take the whole brunt of the financial weight and they thirst for it, it's almost as though they're called controlling. But when the person is wealthy, well, uber wealthy, millionaire status, they're not called controlling. It's called her acquiescing to his options. But when you have somebody who is, you would say, upper middle class income, higher tier, definitely six figures, you know, top 12% of men, top 10% of men, top 6% of black men. He's an above average earner. He's an above average earner, especially living where he's living. Maybe he's been
I,
watching a lot of Kevin. Maybe he's been watching a lot of Kevin, but he is
I
a
think
high earner.
right. I
He's a
think he
high
just needs a
earner.
traditional woman. That's all. He needs a traditional woman. Not
And
necessarily it's a
that's
bad thing to do that. Yeah.
right. And that's the thing is, like, when we hear what he's stating, it's just that I think that because all of them were listed, it looks a lot bigger than what it is. But women's lists be longer than his, way longer than his. Y'all lists be way longer. So call it rabbit hole in terms of the levels of delusion.
I don't think he's
Um.
It
delusional.
says more when we judge
Hmm.
the reality because remember, what's the delusion? You know what I mean? Within delusion, it's this whole situation about the person ignoring incontrovertible facts or evidence, right?
Hmm. I don't think he's delusional. I mean, the age group that he wants, um, yeah, he's gonna have to broaden his horizons. Like he gonna have to do maybe Houston, Atlanta. I'm just saying, if he couldn't find it in Mississippi, he's gonna have to go outside of that to
So
find
forget.
it.
So let's forget because it seems like everybody's getting charged up. Everybody's getting charged up by the 21 to 35 thing, right?
Well, he just said.
So
I
hold on,
mean,
but let me hold on a second.
okay.
Everybody getting charged up by the 21 to 35 thing, right? The only thing that I would say that somebody should really get charged up about is 25 below, or even have a feeling about it. But so let's push up 26 to 35. What's wrong with him wanting a 35-year-old woman? Is there something wrong with that?
No, it's not. It's
34. How
no.
about a 30-year-old woman?
No, it's nothing wrong with that because he remember he wanted to have kids. So he said that he wanted to have kids.
Yeah, I
So
think that's the issue is that you're like he's looking for people with, not saying they don't exist, but women
yeah,
in a particular area don't have children who are of a certain age and be willing to be traditional in a world where women are going through a revolution where they're not being traditional, especially the younger women. So being traditional in younger area is kind of weird. They may not have children, but them wanting to be in a traditional role, a lot of them that's not very common right now. So he has to go a little bit older. He's going to probably find people with more children. So the ratio is kind of off for him.
You
Not
too
saying it doesn't
close to
exist.
the
So I'll say this, right?
hmm hmm
He actually gave it up, and he said he keeps saying, "Look where the hell I am, and I know about where he's at. It ain't, man. That's I heard of the Mississippi Delta, right? It's a different story out there." And he's like, "That's why I'm hollering at you. He ain't finding what he's trying to look for, so he's
hmm
going into an online portal. He's going into an online portal, and he's having a conversation. He's, you know, not. I was about to say exposing himself, but he's
Yes,
exposing the world to him. Go ahead.
okay, but at the same time, is he wanna have children. So he is 40. So in the age group that he's looking for, he wants a woman who's childbearing ages. Okay, so he said 21, 35. So I'm confused about what y'all arguing about because he said he wants childbearing ages 21 to 35. He wants a
Right.
child. So a woman who might be 36 might not want a baby.
If you want to listen, I'm gonna close with this because I gotta push on. But if you would have something to be offended by, um, in which I would consider his delusion is the fact that he has no, he doesn't have. It's funny. I'm trying to think of the word for it, but the value he places on a woman is strictly her natural duties, what she can provide him in her natural sense, not so much as in how she can help him, how she can inspire him, how you know, um, she can, you know, listen to his issues and give him balanced counsel. He feels like he's a one man band. He feels like he's an island. And
Hmm.
let me just say, men who being one, once when you feel like you're an island, then that's where you get stuck by your motherfucking self. And at the end of the day, it's kind of hard to convince somebody to come live on the island with you. And at the end of the day, what we're talking about is if your level of communicating what you desire is that, for lack of a better words, caveman style, it's going to be very hard to get a woman who fits your criteria that isn't a Dumbo that still wants to go along with your program with your inability to communicate what you're actually trying to get done. So you're going to have to lead with your money, and then you're going to leave yourself open to be taken advantage of. And it's going to be a lot of hard times. And I think that's the delusion, is that he feels like he can get those things. And being intentional, you can get certain things, but you got to check yourself sometime and see if what you're saying is realistic, because the reality is that when you can be the driver, you can set the destination, but sometimes your eyes going to get tired, brother. And you're going to need someone else to take over, even if it's momentarily. And you're going to need to be able to trust their driving. And you're going to need to be able to trust their driving. And you're going to need to be able to trust their driving. And you're going to need to be able to trust their driving. And you're going to need to be able to trust their driving. And you're going to need to be able to trust their driving. And you're going to need to be able to trust their driving. And you're going to need to be able to trust their driving. And you're going to need to be able to trust their driving. And you're going to need to be able to trust their driving. And you're going to need to be able to trust their driving. And you're going to need to be able to trust their driving. And you're going to need to be able to trust their driving. And you're going to need to be able to trust their driving. And you're going to need to be able to trust their driving. And you're going to need to be able to trust their driving. And you're going to need to be able to trust their driving. And you're going to need to be able to trust their driving. And you're going to need to be able to trust their driving. And you're going to need to be able to trust their dr You still navigating, but you're not always going to be the one at the wheel. You get sick, then what? That's what the companion is for. And if you're handicapping her by not allowing her to be proficient in anything, to do anything, to contribute anything, all she got to do is what the fuck you tell her, then she's not going to be ready to help you should you need it. And your castle may crumble because of it, no matter how strong you built it. So I think that's the delusion. And it's going to be hard in 2022 to convince any woman in that age range that he's talking about, because these are liberated women. They not from that traditional setting. So unless their parents are very, very old school, um, and it's more of a range through a network, um, and they don't have a problem with the gap in age and all of these things. There's so many obstacles to overcome because the woman he's describing, she probably has a strong family background to have made her the woman that he would be seeking. So that's why I say he's got to go through a whole nother means. And if he think he's gonna bump into her in all of these random places that he's still frequenting, where he can find a woman that let him come over with her kids, with 3 kids and multiple baby mamas, and he still want to clap cheek, he ain't sure. He talking, but when he's sure and he done hurting and he done healing, I think he'll choose a better route because he seems like after hearing him through that he's a solid brother, but he ain't 100% sure what he want right now. But he just heard some things and he said, yeah, that line up.